My name is Ibrahim Omer. I'm an Eritrean. I'm a son, brother, a friend. I'm a Muslim. I'm a former refugee. I'm a trade unionist and living wage activist. But most importantly, I stand here today in front of you, bursting with pride as a Kiwi who loves Aotearoa, New Zealand. As a child, I was full of hopes and ambitions and dreams. Among the very long list of things I wanted to be and do, two things stood out for me. To be a football player, like Ronaldo from Brazil, or a politician. But those dreams were cut short by a brutal dictatorship that killed dreams of thousands of young Eritrean men and women. For 30 years, my country was locked in a war for independence. I remember the terror when the war raged in our city. I was young, but I vividly remember the fighting. There was no power. We had very little food. The city was surrounded by the fighters for months and months. I knew I had no choice but to leave before my time came. So, Mr. Speaker, I left behind everything I loved. My country, my family, my friends, and my dreams, including the long list of things I wanted to be and do. I crossed the border and handed myself into the UNHCR camp and the Sudanese authorities, and I was granted refugee status to stay in Sudan. 5 years later, I came to New Zealand as a refugee. I had never heard of this place, to be honest. But an immigration officer told me it was one of the most peaceful countries in the world. That was good enough for me, because I was sick and tired of looking over my shoulder. My early life in New Zealand wasn't easy. I got a job as a security guard, but I left it after I was attacked and beaten in the middle of the night. I did a farm work, fruit picking, and started cleaning. My low wages meant I couldn't save to study, and in order to support my family back home, I picked up more and more hours until I was doing 80 hours a week. I got a pay rise, and I decided to go to university. A few months later, one Sunday night, I was cleaning a lecture theater. The next day, I had my first lecture, Politics 111, in that same lecture theater. It was a very emotional moment that I will never forget. The reality is millions of people will not have the luck that I have had. Until the world changes, innocent lives will continue to be lost and displaced in the hands of evil and war. That is what we must change. That is what we must change, Mr. Speaker. In my mother tongue, which is called Saho, I just wanted to say to these people, Sin abliukane, which is I see you. Sin arar abiukane, which is I feel you. Inshallah, Prile sinakane, which I will be on your side and fight alongside you. Norera, tena koto, tena tato katoa.